everyone.
Hi, it's Danielle Schneider.
I'm Casey Wilson.
And it's Bitch Sesh. How you doing?
I'm great. Danielle, you've got a real pep in your step.
Not really. I think I'm more just tired and I'm like, ugh.
I'm exhausted.
Trying too hard.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Guys, we've missed you. It's been a week. We had a live show last week, but now we're back in the nook.
Back in the nook. We have a great guest we're going to bring out.
We've been wanting this guest on for a long time, but she went and had a baby. Mm-hmm. So we had to deal with that.
Then I had to have maternity leave.
Yeah. So now she's back and ready to get with it.
And she brought cookies.
Ooh, she did. And we've eaten all of them.
That's why I am tired and angry right now.
I looked at those cookies and I was like, this is too big for me, for my little mouth, my little body. And then I ate 3 of them.
Are you okay? You seem to be on a real sugar high.
I know. Really, that's what it is. I'm crazy.
When you're talking to someone who had 2 giant peanut butter cookies.
Well, I've eaten a lot of sugar today.
Okay, I'm going to bring up sugar. This is not an ad. I need to repeat, not an ad. Even though they did an advertisement for us. Ooh. Halo Top sent us all of that Halo Top ice cream.
Oh my God, it's so good.
No, I literally wrote in my notes because I was eating their mocha chip Halo Top like the entire time I was watching Atlanta Part 3, and I just wrote in the notes, Halo Top is good. It's really good, and it's like low calories, and I love, they basically make it for people who, they're like, you need to binge eat something.
Yes, so why not us?
Yes, they're like, you're finishing this whole thing, and I love that we're starting at that baseline.
I'm also giving it to my child.
Really?
Yeah, she wanted a sweet treat the other night, and I was like, I had nothing for her. I literally hadn't shopped for the day, and I was like, it's either this or a pretzel.
Again, this is truly not an ad. I'm loving Halo Top.
We're not advertising them this week. They just gave us some ice cream for like a week, and we're like, have that.
I really love it.
And we have.
Well, here we are.
Oh, something happened. Okay. I was just going to say, I was saying I didn't have anything, but I found some grays this week in my head. And that was...
At least it's in your head.
Yeah, well, that's my worry, is that it will be lower. I am. I know, and I have an interesting pube situation.
Danielle, you are sugared up, and I just want you to take a second and remember yourself. Steal yourself. Okay, go ahead.
You mean the fact that I'm revealing this to everyone?
Your body's shaking.
It's our guest's fault. Okay. If I reveal anything tonight, I'm drunk on these cookies that are as big as my head.
Okay. And as big as your pube?
I have a pube situation, and that mine are like...
Go ahead.
Are we okay with this?
Go ahead.
Mine are like stick straight as of late. You could braid them in style.
Okay. So they're stick straight and quite long?
Yeah, like I could like style them.
We heard you.
I could make like a lob.
We heard you. Danielle, what's happening? Okay.
I don't know if it's like a change.
Can I ask a few questions? So you're saying they're like a bristle brush or like they're coarse?
Of course. I mean, they're, but also soft.
Okay.
But they're like sort of long.
Do you want
straight.
them to be curly, long, and straight?
It's a new situation.
I'm sorry, it's just so shocking.
It's talking to me too.
So this is a new situation.
It feels new. I mean, maybe I've just never let them
before. Maybe they had like a wave.
Yeah, they had like a body wave element.
Were they ever not there or shorter?
Of course.
Okay.
But like I don't know. It's not like this feels new and it feels strange and I don't know.
Much like this new side of you.
It's almost like this sugar ups. I've had to
Danielle's now taking off layers.
I'm hot from the sugar. I don't know what's happening.
So are you going to trim them or you're just kind of seeing where
it all goes?
See where it takes us.
I just want to know where we can go.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Are you still shaving around the edges?
Sides.
Around the perimeter?
Yeah, perimeter.
But just letting the rest.
I'm letting the rest kind of like, let's see where it goes. Let's see where life takes us.
Danielle, I salute you. You're an American hero.
Thank you.
And
I might regret this fully and call you tomorrow and be like, Casey, we got to
if you ever put
it.
Conditioner on them, it'll soften them up a little bit. I can't do much about the straight of it all.
Do I put a curling iron through there? I mean, what are we doing here?
I think you take a pair of scissors. I don't know. I don't. I don't know as a friend what I'm supposed to say here, except I'm listening and I hear you.
I appreciate you being here. And that's
I'm
all a
bearing
friend
witness.
needs.
I'm bearing
Yeah,
witness.
That's all a friend needs is just to hear it. I don't need you to fix it. I just need you to hear me.
I'm remembering back to when we both started talking at the same time. I was going to just talk about a flywheel challenge I'm doing, but I'm so glad we got where we did.
I didn't think I had anything, and then I'm remembering, what was going on.
So is it bothersome to you, or are you often like...
It was bothersome, but you know how like when you're like, I'm seeing something, but I just want to see where it I just don't know where it's going, and I'd like to find out.
You're like grotesquely curious.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how my husband feels about it. But yeah, it's kind of a new development, and I'm just kind of going with it and seeing, like I'm leaning into it in a way. And
we'll check back in next week.
This new development.
Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you. I'm just sharing
for that.
Share.
No, I appreciate it.
I feel like you're looking at me through new eyes. Don't look at me.
I am. I mean, I'm just so shocked, but I'm so delighted as well. I'm delighted.
And like, I have some body to my hair on my head. So.
You do.
So I don't know what's happening down there. Is it age? Is it hormonal? Something's happening. But anyway, let's get off this quickly.
Struggling to find a segue.
Tell me about your flywheel.
Speaking of segues, no, I mean, there's nothing to report there. Truly.
What is a flywheel challenge?
Flywheel. So I know a lot of our listeners are involved in SoulCycle, be they just bikers or in the corporate side. Mm-hmm. And I'm love to all of them.
Yeah.
But I am a flywheel person.
What's the difference?
Ooh, Danielle.
Sorry. How dare I?
Danielle. I actually don't know. I've been to one SoulCycle class. It personally wasn't for me. Like, okay. I'm not as into the platitudes, but also I need to be held accountable. And the difference to me is that flywheel is like more for athletes, and SoulCycle seems to be like people trying to
feel better about themselves,
pick themselves up off the bottom.
Okay.
No, I don't know. Actually, I'm sure people love SoulCycle, and people I love and respect absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. But flywheel, when you turn your torque up, you know how you like turn up to make it harder for yourself?
No, I don't.
Okay. I'm not even a spin person, but now I am.
Oh, wow.
I walked into a flywheel and everything changed. Like, you turn a little knob and it makes it harder for you. And there's a personal computer on your bike, so it tells you exactly where to turn it up. Mm-hmm. Whereas with like Yaz and SoulCycle, I would just they'd be like, turn your thing, and I would mime doing it. Oh. Like, put my hand over it and pretend, or just do it a little bit. And it just was.
And no one cared. Everyone was like, God, you're doing great. No. Everyone was still.
I cared because I wasn't keeping up with anyone, nor was I sweating, and it was very embarrassing. But it's for athletes, basically, I think. Wow. And then it gives you a personal score, or you can put it up on the board, but I never, ever would do that. But you try to beat your own score, and it's kind of, if you're competitive, it's fun.
Wow.
But Deanna Rayfield and I, and she's going to appear in voice memo on this podcast, I've been going constantly.
How many days a week
Even though, I'm doing flywheel challenge, so it's 5 times a week for 4 weeks.
Wow, that's a lot.
I'm very tired.
You must be. You look great, though.
Thank you. I mean, again, it's driving me to other strange choices, like the 2 peanut butter cookies. And I'm just trying to batten down the hatches on this pregnancy.
Yeah, well, you look fantastic.
Last time I did it. I had several doctors pull me aside, say like, for the baby's health, for your just general sense of self.
But I knew you then and loved you then, and I don't remember you like Danielle. When I think back to Hot Wives, we were shooting Hot Wives, and you looked fantastic.
I think it was appropriate for the character, but I put it on, and then the baby, I was like, I'm having a giant baby. Like, this is crazy. And the baby was 6 pounds. But there's nothing to report in flywheel except that I've become like a spin person. And I really like it. Please. I love it. There's these 2 teachers I'm obsessed with. One is named, what's her last name? I'm going to look it up. But there's this gentleman named David Vincent I'm obsessed with. Okay. He plays, just at the end of the class, he just put on Halo and said, we're turning the lights off and just feeling this one. And I was like, okay, I will.
Wow.
And then Deanna and I are obsessed with this teacher, Lacey. She was on Revenge Body with Khloe Kardashian. Mm-hmm. And she's one of a kind. Her name's Lacey Stone. And yeah, she will many, many times just scream at the top of her lungs, winning. But she's an American treasure, a national treasure.
Really?
Oh, yes.
I'm afraid, because you and I have worked out once before for a little video we made.
Yeah.
And it was shocking how out of shape I was. Like, you looked at me.
Maybe your pubes are weighing you down.
It's so bad, guys. I'm a mess of a person. So I'm worried that like I'm going to have to go to like the back of the room. So I won't go in with you.
No, I go in the back and I arrive late every time. So they literally have to take a flashlight and walk me in holding my hands like I'm an elder grandma, stepping through the bikes. And the teacher today was like, you are arriving later and later. Like so you're 10, 15 minutes in. Class. Yeah, basically. Like I'm taking my sweet time in there. I don't know why I brought that up. There's really no story.
Right, well, I'm happy
Except
to hear it.
I've gone from someone who had such disdain for spin to not only liking it to now like voluntarily letting out an errant woo.
Really?
Yeah, that
in front of other people
escapes my lips in the darkness, and they're like, "How's everybody doing?" And I'm like, "Woo!" And it's humiliating.
Wow, it's driven you to a new place.
I have disdain for everyone there, but I don't know. I'm really into it. I feel like writing these people a love letter. I guess I am doing that.
You are?
Because it's helped me through this pregnancy. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, well, I'm going to try and go with you, but I'm going to be far away from you because I don't
know. I'm in the back row. You think I'm moving up?
Can I get farther back? I don't know. I'm going to be really bad.
But everyone, also my score is always the worst in the class, but I think Flywheel doesn't rate you worse. They only make you second to last. You get your score on your phone.
If we go and I'm the last, it's gonna
Danielle, there's no way. I'm at points stopping. I'm leaning back on a wall that they have that you're not supposed to lean back on. So if you're on a bike, I'm tilted all the way back. Like, just rest at rest. Teachers often are giving me a thumbs up, like, are you alive?
But you're pregnant. At least you're pregnant. So you could be like,
But I don't feel like people give me that due.
No?
I don't think they notice enough. I want to like parade around, but it's hard when you enter in the dark and leave early.
Yeah. That would...
To get your due. Yeah.
People aren't going to realize you're pregnant.
Danielle, before we bring on our guest, you have finally caught up
on Big Little Lies.
You have not caught up with the pubic hair trends of the time.
That's to be continued. But I finally caught up with Big Little Lies. And guys, if you have not watched it, what Danielle, are you doing with your... Sorry.
Danielle, okay. I'm going to stop you right there. We've covered it weeks ago. Don't try to like convert the other people. It's like everybody's watched it. I said I would give you time to air out your thoughts, but keep it brief because we've all seen it.
First of all, if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about it, but everybody's watched it.
We've spoiled it here many weeks ago.
I remember I walked out of the room. I knew it was going to happen on some level. I knew that Alexander Skarsgård was going to be the one that Shailene Woodley was the one that like had raped her. Like I knew that was going to happen. I could feel that coming. But the performances, Laura Dern should be in everything.
Agreed.
If I want to know her, I want to... I want
to be her. I want to know her. I want to flywheel with her.
I want to go to her house. I want to look at her
if you haven't seen Enlightened, that show is one of the best.
She's amazing. If you haven't seen... I'm going to go real back and say, if you haven't seen Rambling Rose, it's like a
You're making me laugh tonight. I don't know why, but you are.
Go check out a VHS.
Just
of a little movie.
Braid up your pubes and throw on Ramblin' Rose.
Perm your pubes and throw on some Ramblin' Rose because you got a treat in front of you. That's great.
I'm so glad you watched it.
Yeah, it was wonderful. I'm so glad I caught up. And I texted Casey and I was like, Casey, can't believe I haven't watched it. And you were
Danielle,
like...
you're screaming. I love you, but I've literally never seen you like this. You're screaming at top volume. Am I alone here? I'm scared. I'm really scared.
These cookies have done something.
Your eyes are watering. Danielle, I'm dying. Let's bring out Tricia because I don't know what's happening.
Okay. I've calmed down. I've tried to.
Yes, you've collected yourself.
I've collected myself.
What a guest we have here.
I'm very excited to have this person. This person is such a funny writer and improviser. She's written on Brooklyn Nine-Nine for the past few seasons. She's a dear friend.
She has a podcast devoted to the Kardashians. You don't understand. I'm jealous. I'm angry. I'm elated. I'm every single thing. It is called, with a K, Kardashian It. And it comes out every week on Wednesdays.
Please welcome Tricia Mcalpin. Hi.
Thank you. I am so honored to be here.
Tricia, I'm so excited to have you.
I feel it's like I've had you over the night like my mom embarrassed me.
I know. I blame Tricia. You brought us those cookies. Where are they from?
Sorry, the sweet salt.
Oh,
I love that place.
Salt.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thanks. So
Before
happy
we
to hear.
dive into housewives, because of course we have to get into Atlanta, we have to get into New York. Can we talk Kardashians for a second? And I'm sorry, Danielle.
No, I'm happy to bear witness.
Just give me an overview of like where your interest is stemming from, all of it.
I would say interest, like a little bit of the show. Like I was like a little interested in the show when it first came out. For some reason, when I really got on board was when Kim had a game on her phone. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah, of
Like
course.
where you like get to dress up like her and go to like Hollywood events and stuff. And in like 1 week, I literally spent $300.
That's what drew you in.
Literally $300. And then I was like, if I'm spending $300 on someone's game, like I need to like deep dive. And then I like got really obsessed and like with all of them.
With all of them. Who's your favorite, like top 3 in order?
I mean, for sure, Kim is number 1.
Really?
Leaps and bounds.
You don't hear that every day, Trisha. You don't hear that every day.
Oh my God. And I have so much respect for her. And I know people are like, the Kardashians are terrible. And I'm like, she's literally like my idol. Like, I like want to be as good of a mother as her.
Trisha's a new mother.
Hey, you know what? You're looking at me like I'm going to think you're crazy when I'll get tears in my eyes talking about this family.
Oh, I cry all the time. I cry at like the videos that Kanye makes for her.
Don't even get me started about the angel ball.
Oh my God,
Seeing
angel
what a
ball.
wonderful father Robert was. Gone too soon.
Oh my God. Gone
I
too
watched
soon.
that video and I cried about that. And again, like as I've said many times, I know the players, I just don't know the game. But that video I had to watch. I had to touch down on that, and I cried. I don't even know what's going on, and I bawled.
And I do
think
feel
Robert
like-
Kardashian was a good human being that made some bad decisions with the OJ trial, but still is a good human being.
Yes.
Agreed. 100%.
Agreed. And
like-
who's your second favorite?
This is also.
And you can expand it out so you know all the players.
Okay, Courtney is number 2.
How dare you, Trisha? What the fuck?
Oh, I know.
Do you know?
Laugh. Like, she really makes me laugh.
Okay.
She makes me laugh because she just doesn't care. I'm like really obsessed with her and Scott's relationship and like trying to figure it out.
As am I.
Her children are like so cool and they have such cool haircuts.
They do.
I'd love a trim, not just on you, Danielle, but on some of their haircuts.
On
But
Mason,
that's
Penelope.
the worst thing you'll hear me ever say about the Kardashians.
Mason needs a haircut. Yeah, and then
Third?
God, third is hard.
Casey's
Can it be-
face is. She's like, she can't believe that
Well,
you
I
said third
can't
is
believe
hard.
you haven't come up with Chloe.
Oh my God, well, here's the thing. I used to love Chloe. Oh God, I'm losing you.
No, I want to understand. We're on different sides, but I want to understand where you're coming
I
from.
haven't loved Chloe lately. Like,
Wow.
I haven't loved like revenge body Chloe. I mean, I'm happy that she's like happy in her body and looks good, but like good American Chloe, like pushing those jeans, I'm like just over
You're
it.
over it. Okay.
So yeah, she kind of fell out of my top 3.
Wow.
Aren't the girls everyone's top 3? And I ask this as someone who's not as invested. Like, no one's being like Robert or Chris. Like, no one's being like.
Definitely no one's being Robert or Chris. But I think there are some people out there that would definitely say Kylie or...
Oh yeah, Kylie is like crazy. I mean, people love Kylie.
I know, but it feels that's like our little sisters Kardashian.
It's
yes?
our little sisters. It's other people like the Courtneys and the Kims are the big sisters, I think.
I guess so. I forget we're 100.
See, I love Chris.
I love Chris.
Love her.
Yeah,
I think she's a great mom.
I do too. She's built an empire for like she's made.
But does that make a great mom?
And look, my husband literally has screamed in my face, off her daughter's sex tape. And I just don't let it get in. I don't let it bother me.
Yeah, I'm like not bothered by the sex tape thing. I mean, everyone always like leans back on that as a way to trash them, and I'm like
Lazy.
They're the first family. Like they're more influential than anyone. They don't need anyone. Like they own everything that they do.
Yeah.
Like she made Rob a success through socks.
I know.
Like it's crazy. She's like, and you'll have a sock line. And now he
Arthur
does.
George. Arthur George.
Is that the name of his sock line?
Yes.
It seems to be going strong.
Yeah, he's
I saw.
constantly Instagramming it.
I will say, like, I got into the Kardashians shortly after my mom passed, and I've mentioned before, was let go from Saturday Night Live. I was in a lower point in my life, and I literally sat on the couch. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm like, what is this family? I started watching, and I don't care who says anything. I was like, this is a nice family. I'm feeling comforted by them, and I'm feeling comforted by Chris. As a mother figure, no, I know that's insane, but I watched all of it over like the course of 2 weeks, and I was like, I feel close to them. I just do.
Yeah, totally.
And I care about them very deeply.
I enjoy their storylines sometimes, and I enjoy them as humans. But where I fall short on the Kardashians is when it feels, and this sounds strange coming from somebody who watches The Housewives and feels like it's all real, but sometimes I feel like it's fake. And that's where I start to jump.
Look, they went into a period, I think it's not so much this year, I've noticed, for about 4 or 5 years where they were doing heavy storylines and it felt really false. It was like, Scott's going to bum around with Chris and Corey's going to see what's up with like Bruce. Like, but it was like, but they're also on a goose chase to like find, like a psychic's going to get involved.
Hijinks. I don't enjoy hijinks. And so that's where like, when the real stuff is happening, the real family stuff, I'm on board.
Only thing I'm getting upset with lately is I feel like we're not getting enough.
Yeah, Kim it's because they teased this season as like, you're gonna see Kanye's breakdown, and then like the week it happened, she was like, we won't talk about what happened with like they never said hospital or like. And
then the next thing you know, she's like just helping Rob out figure out his life with China. I'm like, what? We missed a whole section here.
But this past week was actually, I would say if you dipped back in, Danielle, this past episode was really good.
All right.
She like yelled at someone in the same hotel room that Eileen Davidson was in Dubai.
Oh, the girl?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, like, again, I know everything that's happening. It's like this, it's like a song that's like, I've never heard the things, but I know all the words.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how, I'm like, I know exactly what happened. There was a groupie that was in Scott Disick's hotel and Kim walked in and kicked her out. Like, I don't know why I know that. I just know it happened.
Because they
do you
get you to know.
Yeah.
See, with Corey and Chris, I'm so interested in the two of them because I really am glad Corey seems to have a place now, kind of taking charge of security.
Is that her boyfriend who needs a job?
We think, but he acts like a security guard for them. Like every time.
But I think it's poor Corey just trying to like find his place. I mean, it's odd.
I felt like his job was just holding her purse. Like I feel like I see him in the background holding.
It
her
is
purse
odd
quite
seeing
a bit.
him like bopping around at Bristol Farms with Courtney and Mason and like trying on natural deodorants with them and stuff. But what do you make of Kristen and Corey?
I think he's great for her. I think like he just doesn't need to try so hard. Like there was like a time where he like bought her a car and she was kind of like, okay. Like I feel like she's like, that's not what you're for. Like you're like.
But when he bought her a car, was it like a Tercel or something? Like it was like they're used to like really fancy cars, like not a car like we would like.
It was probably like a Tercel to her, but it was probably like a Rolls Royce or something.
Yeah,
like I don't remember, but I feel like this year like he's found his role as security and like it's really working out great. Like,
is he her bodyguard?
No, he arranges all the security for all of the girls.
How did that work out in Paris?
Well, this was post Paris,
okay,
of course.
Yeah, he like took control post Paris and like it's working out great, I think.
Okay. Wow.
I'm really rooting for them. I don't know why.
You know who I'm done with? It's Caitlyn.
I agree.
As do I.
Man or woman, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
And I was then and I am now.
I feel like she's talking about the family a lot and out of turn, and it feels
wrong. Like and I know they are probably such a stranglehold of a family, and I believe all of that. But she does have 2 daughters, more than 2 daughters. I'm also like, Chloe and Kim and Courtney are your kid, and Robert are your kids too.
Yeah,
like
it feels like
I think she's a bad person.
Yeah, I just don't like the way she's handling kind of, like this
and like you voted for Trump.
Children.
Like who the hell are you?
And Chris doesn't talk about her. So I feel like,
I mean, we're cutting around quite a bit. I think Chris, when she first read that book, I think we filmed her 2 weeks later talking to the girls being like, I've never been more disappointed, because I think Chris lit the house on fire.
Yeah.
Like torched life and then was like, I'm ready to film. She was just like dabbing at her eyes and she's like, I've tried to have a friendly relationship with Caitlyn. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's rough.
I think there's a lot we're not seeing and I resent that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you guys signed on to show us everything. Please. It's only out of love. I want more.
Yeah, definitely want more. But I mean, like, yeah, like even the best part of the season so far was like accidentally shot on iPhones because Kim just flipped out. Like she's hiding a lot of stuff, I guess, to like protect her family because she cares about her children. Like,
you seem really upset by that, Tricia. As a new mom, you seem furious about that.
Well, it is upsetting because when you follow them as long as we have, Danielle, you kind of expect a certain level of intimacy in the relationship.
I feel the same way with my housewives. When they don't show something, I'm like, how dare you? how dare you not expose your children? How dare you not expose your life, your career, all of this? You put yourself on TV and you need to keep yourself on TV.
So calculated that I do love tracking their moves, because they used to be like, we're all on board for Rob and China. Like, we're so on board. And then just last week they started being like, it's just not a great relationship. Like, China broke Kylie's TV. And like, they are so calculated. And that, of course, is crazy. Like, they're like, now we've turned on her. And
yeah.
But why did they all turn on Monica Rose, the stylist?
I'm dying to know. I'm dying. I have no idea, and I want to know so bad.
It's so crazy when everyone just stops following someone on Instagram. The public, like, it's such a passive.
They go
aggressive.
like a school of fish.
Yeah,
That works. You hit it.
Like, you don't fuck with the family. And it's so, I think I don't have sisters, so I'm just fascinated by this dynamic where you can be like so mean to a friend and then bounce back. I guess if I was a housewife or a Kardashian. I love the way they shake their salads. I love the way they dab at their tears. I love their nails. I love their hair. I love it. And I know we've turned a lot of people off, but
I believe in our listeners, and I believe that even if they are not housewives, even if they're not Kardashian fans, like, they are still interested, as am I.
Great. Well, let's take a break and get back to the housewives.
Sure.
We're back.
Yes, we are.
Well, shall we get into the housewives?
Yes, please. We start off with Atlanta. Now, you watch all the housewives and you watch Southern Charm as well.
Oh, yeah.
You are part of the Bravo family.
Yes,
and
huge Bravo fan.
So let's start with Atlanta.
Yes,
I had a lot of just questions about Atlanta because I knew we had this explosive ending. And for some reason, I didn't totally understand how we got there.
Okay.
I think because in some level, I felt I knew this information on a cellular level, maybe unconsciously already. How did we get here?
Okay.
Like, what did you guys think of Phaedra, this revelation?
I'm always like shocked when anything happens. Like, I think you're right. Like, on some cellular level, I knew that we've been saying it all season. Phaedra's a liar and has a strange relationship with the truth and is talking out of both sides of her mouth and is trying to sue Candy, like, through somebody else. Like, it's all so strange. Like, it's not shocking, and yet I'm still shocked.
Yeah.
I think it like adds a new layer of kind of like evil to her, because it's like she can kind of like defend like I was just helping this guy, bringing him to a lawyer or whatever. But this is like, I made up a rumor that you like drugged and tried to like she wasn't there. Like, it's just like, I'm purely evil. I want to like take down Candy. Like, so it was like,
and she's a lawyer. I mean, it's pretty shocking.
It was shocking.
I really, really enjoyed Todd on this reunion. I felt like everything he was saying was making pretty sense to me. He's like, the way he had a great demeanor about it. He's like, yeah, we're all adults, but she propositioned us and kind of made it clear, like, we're not even putting you down for that. Like, that would have been quite fine, apparently, in this family. Like, I liked his demeanor. I liked his tone.
I hear you. I know I've been hard on Todd in the past and said he's not worthy of our Queen Candy, but I'm hearing this.
But I couldn't help but think, what is sweet baby Ace going to make of all of this down the line?
Ace.
And baby Ace.
He's
guys,
so cute.
At one point, Candy said to Porsha, I should have let you go down and eat it and kiss my ass while you were down there.
That was a gorgeous line. That was worthy of
Pure poetry. Pure poetry.
The women on this show have lines that I wish I could utter in a moment of anger or happiness or joy or revenge. Like, what comes to them quickly would have taken me like months to kind of like to write.
And did you see how Andy was giggling so much? He's besotted with these women. He loves them. He's either yelling like, stop, please stop to them, or just like giggling.
Oh, I think Atlanta's definitely his favorite city.
I agree.
For sure.
They're the most fun. And they are also just like, they're just enjoyable to watch. And I think they're a lot of fun to be around. And even, granted, it's gotten very dark this season with Phaedra, and setting up a lie of that magnitude has been pretty tough.
She's literally accusing her friend of
former
raping.
best friend of rape.
They were like the Smalls.
Yes. It's tough. And it was one of those things where it was just like, oh, this got dark. But before, it used to be they would be so mean to each other, but they would really make each other laugh. They had fun together, these women. You can tell that Andy enjoyed it.
I heard that Nene Leakes is close to signing her deal, but that she's only going to be in part-time.
I think that's good. We only kind of need Nene part-time. Do you not believe so?
I'd like her full-time, but
Of course, we all would. But don't you remember 2 seasons ago when she was just there for like a long vacation, and I think they went to Jamaica?
But to me, that's the problem. Like, she's just dipping in and out. I need time for her to build steam and build resentments.
But she comes in full force. She can build a resentment in 1 episode. Like, it doesn't take long for her. Same with Kim. Kim came in for half an episode and she was fighting with Kenya.
You're right.
Like, it was fine.
awesome.
It was fine. She was there 5 minutes.
They truly say like it's like you were never gone. It really was.
Yeah.
I like turned around. There she was with the solo cup. She's like, bitch.
I know. I'm like, it doesn't take these women any time. They're masters.
You're right, Danielle. You're right.
Thank you.
Guys, I mean, I'm into this. We are in for something next week. And as Porsha said to Candy, get Google and read all about it. Guys, get Google because
I'm very excited. I feel like my whole week is building to it. I'm counting down the days till Sunday night.
again, if you haven't, this is not like Big Little Lies where you have
I was
seen
gonna
it.
say, if you haven't seen Big Little Lies, you should go see it. You should definitely. Guys, go watch Big Little Lies.
Let me ask you, Tricia, just while I have you, who do you respond to the most on Atlanta?
It changes so drastically season to season. It's so crazy because I remember a few seasons ago I was like so annoyed with Candy and I was like, ugh, Candy.
Me too. I felt like get in the episode. It feels like you are in your own show.
And then like when Kenya first came on, I was like, stop it. And now I'm like, I love Kenya. She's making me laugh so hard. Like,
Where are you with Candy now?
I like Candy. I mean, definitely like Team Candy in this whole thing.
Were you ever Team Phaedra? Because I would say last season I was Team Phaedra because I was like, how dare Candy and Todd let Phaedra's husband park his car or his motorcycles, was it?
Right.
Let Apollo park in that. Like, I think that's upsetting. Like, I was upset about that. Not accuse someone of rape upset, but I was I was Phaedra's side, and I've turned on her this season.
Yeah, she got too dark. Like, but yeah, I mean, I think my favorite all time is Sheree though.
Oh, I love Sheree.
I've come to Sheree this year. I've gotten closer to her this year. I have because she's obviously a sympathetic character, but also I'm like, oh, she's funny as hell.
Oh, she is. The Bone Collector, that whole Chateau Sheree. I mean, she gave us so much joy this season.
Yeah, she really did.
Like at Kenya's housewarming party, I was like, I'm in love
when
with
she was
you.
like, I mean, like, when has a character ever done that ever? Like, if someone wrote that in a sitcom, you'd be like, too big, too big. A human being doesn't act like that. And here she is acting like that. Where did you come down on Nene and Kim? Like,
I was like, I don't know, the Nene Kim thing I couldn't like get. I didn't have a what's that called?
Horse
in
the
that
game.
race or whatever.
Race,
like,
you're right. Sorry.
They were just kind of like annoying to me. That fight was annoying. For some reason, I like Kim better on her own show than I liked her on Atlanta.
Yes, she's much more likable on those like Nest cameras that they're showing her on. Like,
and I kind of like went up and down with Nene. Like there was a moment I think where we all peaked with Nene and we were like, I'm obsessed with Nene. And then it was like, oh, all right, Nene.
It was when she was in Cinderella on Broadway. Is that what
No, I think you're absolutely right. It kind of started to tilt forward and became like a parody of itself.
Yes, agree.
I think when she was like, I just picture her on like a golf cart going to the new norm or next norm, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, I don't want to see you on a golf cart.
I don't want to see you in California, frankly.
No, I don't like California Nene.
It's like, I don't even want to see the OC ladies in Beverly Hills.
No.
Yeah.
Keep within the confines of your city parameters, please.
Please.
It's like, I don't like to see the Beverly Hills women in Pasadena.
Or like you don't like to see your teacher out in the world.
Nope.
Like everyone needs to be where they are.
Yes.
And
luckily these women never change and stay exactly where they are.
Yeah, which is helpful.
Speaking of, should we transition to New York?
Yes, please.
Ooh, okay, guys, Ramona's on fucking fire. She's the absolute worst she's ever been and the funniest, I believe. I have literally no less than 10 quotes that she said that we screamed at.
Yes, please.
I mean, first we see Ramona at Dr. Geiss's office for what seems just like lasers that she's getting numbing shots all over her face and arms for.
As I said to you guys, I felt like that she's an animal that needs to be like put under when
she needs to be put down.
Any sort of procedure put down.
And
much like Kingsley.
Then,
she needs to be put down.
As Ramona's like telling them about her big birthday party, we cut to a technician named Patricia. She's panned to in the middle of a line, and she's just lurking over the proceedings with a talk about a straight, long hair.
What, are you looking at me?
Well, her hair looked like what I imagine of your pubes. Just like a gray sprout standing at attention with a large pearl necklace choker. And Ramona is just such a monster. She thinks she's so funny. She's like, you know what they say? No pain, no gain. It's like, that's your joke, Ramona?
Yeah.
Like, then she's just so narcissistic. She says of herself turning 60, I never knew at this age I'd look so good and feel so good. You're a monster.
Yeah.
Like, who says that?
She also said at one point at that party, she goes, there's so many great women here tonight. And that's a testament to me.
And then she did like the, what's this called?
The sign of the cross?
Yes, she did the sign of a cross with her vodka as a toast to herself. But I really feel like she said so many things this week that it's not one of those things where you're saying something with a smile, but really you're kind of like crying behind it. Her soul is crying out, but she has no idea. Like, she's just smiling. She's like, life is good. And it's just like something's not right. The way she was doing that eyeliner, like she's tilting into something very bad.
Do you think she's on any pills? You think that has any sort of, and I don't mean like uppers. I just mean like a I don't know, something.
Or
it's just a natural high.
I never know when people are, like, even if people are like coked out of their minds, I'm like, she seemed normal. Although today I noticed something with you, but like, but I don't know, something. She's loving life a little too much. The boobs have gotten too big. Like, everything seems so extreme.
Distracting. Yeah. Distracting.
You said they were rude at one point.
Yes, I was offended by her breasts.
Yeah.
They were rude. I was like, come on, get those out of here.
Yeah.
Like, she's gotta feel like exhausted too, because like every time they're out, she's like gotta run off to a date or whatever, and like she's like going. I mean, maybe she's going like all the time.
And then she has her date arrive at her surprise party. A man named George. That was so painful to watch. God, she forgot his first name, and then she just ignored him. And we
all screamed when she turned her back on George at the party.
I had to cover my eyes. I couldn't witness George be.
And I have to say, I thought George was a good-looking fellow.
For sure.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, I thought above her, I would have taken George.
I thought she was going to tend to him all night, and instead he goes, should I just chill? And she goes, yeah, chill.
And then she turns away
to talk to a friend whose décolletage was
looked like wrinkled crepe pepper.
The women, you can spot Ramona's friends a mile away.
They're such Ramona.
They're like, hello, Ramona. Just like monsters.
Monsters, all like bleach blonde hair and like sunburned to a crisp.
Like earrings going all the way up their ear like diamonds.
Yes, and like bejeweled and like
shocks of white blonde hair that's sticking straight up like Cruella de Vil.
It's you can pick a Ramona friend like out of a lineup. You're just like, oh, that's a Ramona friend.
Absolutely. The whole thing. Then we go, it was actually, this episode had me kind of suffering like post-traumatic stress with the election. Let's not spend a lot of time on it. It was
tough to watch again and kind of relive. And then there was Adam's turtleneck. It was just a lot.
Adam's bleach blonde tips.
Adam has gotten worse and worse. The first time we met Adam at Luann's house as her chef, I was like, who is this strapping young fellow? But
now to see him holding a martini glass.
Then when they were on the bike, I think they were like cute. Like when she was like running on the back of his bike.
That was like their Nene peeking moment.
Yes. And now it's like.
Now he's like, is Trump gonna win, babe? He's like, does Hillary have a chance, babe? And I can't watch her say shacking up anymore.
No.
She's like, it's cool. It's cool to say I'm shacking up.
Yes, so desperately.
So she used to be like this like aspirational downtown woman. Or whatever.
She used to be cool Carol.
And now it's I think it's like anyone though. Once you know anyone too well, I don't know.
They fall in your eyes.
Well, we were treated to Carol's mom, who was very sweet.
I thought she had passed. I didn't know. I was just shocked to know that she had.
Danielle turned to me when we see Carol's mom and goes, I thought she would have been in the ground.
So dark.
But said like, huh. She was a very sweet woman, and I appreciate that they were campaigning together. But it's interesting because they said that her mom was 18 years older than her, and yet she looked 100 years older. And I don't mean that to be rude.
But Carol's an older lady, right? Like
She's a couple summers left or whatever.
Yeah, I think she has like
She has 2.5 summers left.
we've been counting them down. As you see, there's a clock in the nook that just says Carol Summers going around.
On my bedpost, a notch, and then I don't want to have to put that slash through it.
Yeah, I mean, guys, this summer's about to begin, and then it's over, and Carol has one left, and I'm scared.
The good news is that the shows air 3 months after, so even after her last summer, she's still got 3 more months till we see her.
Yeah, but we're all counting down to Carol Summers.
I mean, I do love Carol, and I think she got a lot of work done last year, and I think her face has settled beautifully this year.
I agree. I didn't even know, I've said this on the podcast, people have heard me before, when people are like, Carol got work, I'm like, what? I'm really shocked to hear people say she got work. Didn't you think?
Yeah, there's something about her that looks really natural to me.
Me
so
too.
I guess she got really good work or something. Her mouth shape is just
I think she looks
interesting.
Great now. I just feel like last year we had a bit of a bump in the road, as you will with me, and there's no judgments here. And then we see Ms. Sonia at a restaurant called Maison 75, I think. Is that right?
I think so.
Maison 70. And she's sitting down with a man named Rocco, and she goes, "You were WhatsApping me while I was in Paris."
Now, if we remember Rocco, we touched down on the fact that he was that date that she had brought out the tablecloth napkins to.
And he was very titillated and impressed.
Very excited and interested in those tablecloth napkins. I was very excited.
And Sonia's like, Rocky's planning for, Rocky's the kind of guy who's planning for the future and settling down. But I'm like, you guys are almost dead.
I know.
And I know I seem ageist tonight, and I'm old myself. I'm not settling down and planning for I'm planning for my future. I genuinely have bought my grave plot.
I know you have, which is so dark.
Guys, gotta get.
I'll know where to visit if I'm older than you.
Anyone would like to take a trip to Enon, Florida? You'll find me there.
Wait, can I ask? Is David want to be married in Florida? He doesn't seem like a Florida guy to me.
No, he does not. And that's been a topic of some discussion. But you guys, if something happens to me, I hope you'll all hold his feet to the fire. My father, I have to tell you guys this. I'm so
please.
sorry. So my mother passed a while back, and I took David and my dad to Enon, where my mom is buried. It's an incredibly, it's not a town, it's in the middle of nowhere in the woods where my mom grew up. And so we're standing over her grave, and unfortunately, we bought a plot for her and my dad. And so I don't know if anyone's seen this before, but there's a headstone. It just says Paul Wilson, the year he was the year he was born, and just says dash. And so he's kind of weird looking at your own grave. But then, so that's you think just the weirdest moment that we're going to have. And so David and I and my father and brother are standing just, really looking over my grandfather. I'm like, our mom, there's tears. It's very emotional. And my dad takes this moment to alert my brother and I to the fact that he's like, I'm in a jam. And we're like, what? He's like, I'm in a jam. He's like, my stepmom wants to be buried, in Pennsylvania, I believe. And I get, he's like, I don't know where to be buried. He goes, and this is a direct quote. He goes, you guys will have to chop me up in two. Who gets the lower half?
Oh my God.
Guys standing in front of my beloved mother's grave who's gone too soon. We're treated to that image and idea.
Oh, wow.
As though my mom from heaven is fighting over for my dad's lower.
Oh, God. Can I ask, do you have a preference? Oh, wow. That's some tough stuff.
Oh, yeah. By the way, that's it was the best thing my dad said that weekend. It really blew past us all. And then later Dave was like, did your dad ask?
Wow.
Anyway.
Well,
seems we're going to get treated to Richard's gravesite next week.
Yeah.
That made me cry in the... Oh.
I know. Dorinda, as you said it tonight, Tricia, she's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
When she's not slurring and screaming, she's gorgeous.
She's not.
She's not
screaming like a
lunatic. She's a beautiful woman who loves her dead husband.
Yes, she
and
really
her and
is.
Richard had something really special that we can all only dream of.
Yeah.
Now, it was a strange hobo bag, crossbody bag she was wearing. What was Luann wearing? That
denim jacket.
Denim jacket. Both of them were wearing age inappropriate outfits. As you said, she looked like she had Cairo's cargo bag. that is where it had gone.
it was a Chanel bag, but it sort of looked like a Vietnam protester or something.
It had patches on it, like little peace signs.
Yeah, it was inappropriate.
It was weird. I feel like the people in Ty's store were like, they're not going to buy anything.
100%. And Luann's never buying that Rolex.
No.
Showing that Rolex on her cracked cell phone screen. Luann is the worst.
She makes bad choices every day. Yeah. I feel like a lot of. I will say though, guys, Luann has never looked better in terms of.
Agreed. I think they all look amazing.
Face, happiness. Like she's glowing, even though it's a strange. Like she's acting like a bride to be who's like, this is her first marriage, their whole life ahead of her. Great. I'm glad that she has this effervescent, ebullient quality with this terrible man. But I'm happy for her.
I'm happy for her too, And then we get into like the election night, and I found it honestly kind of offensive that Bethany's taken this tack of kind of being curiously not saying who she's for because she's always selling. Mm-hmm. She is like death of a fucking salesman. Yeah. Just trying to sell. She's like, I got to appeal to the red states. I got to appeal to the blue states. Like, Bethany, calm down. At least Ramona's got the balls to say like, I'm for Trump.
Yeah.
Fine, just say it. But then Bethany's making so much fun of Carol, being like, this has got to really be getting you good, Carol. It's like, sweetie, this is your country too.
Yeah.
You idiot.
She was like, oh, Trump might have Skinny Girl at his friggin' inauguration party. I can't, she's so gross about her stupid brand.
It just seems like she was really enjoying the fact that Carol was like getting it handed to her. And it's like, we're all getting it handed to us.
Also, Carol's your really good friend. Yeah. She's emotional about this. She feels strongly about this. How about...
It's bad enough you don't seem to care.
Yeah, but like what your friend cares about something. She has been on your side. She has helped you through your divorce. Like this is something that means a lot to her. Get on her side, or at least don't make fun of her and act and belittle it. Like I found it upsetting. Again.
It reminded me of like the joy Vanderpump was taking in Lisa Rinna's fall. It's like that, but they're not friends. Yeah. It was weird.
I didn't like it at all. Another bad side of Bethany.
I also didn't love seeing a gay Republican at Carol's party.
Yeah, those are shirts and like deplorables or something.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Also, we found out tonight, Ramona said proudly, I never get past 3 dates. That was a fun.
So weird.
That was a fun.
Like that was a cool thing.
Yeah, it's like that tracks.
She said it proudly.
Yeah.
Oh God, the best was okay. Then after, so we really take it down with this crazy, election. Everybody's really upset, and then they play sad music. Carol's crying, and then we're back with Ramona trying on dresses, and it felt as jarring as it must have felt the days after the election. Looking at her in a horrible red dress with zippers zipped down to the collarbones, prancing about and screaming at the top of her lungs, holy shit, I'm red hot. It's crazy.
And then she gets behind the dressing room and is like, I'm going to surprise her. Like, who needs that shock?
Like telling the store employee, like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hide behind the curtain.
Those employees hate Ramona so much, and they hate all women, and they should,
because I'm sure she wasn't buying anything either.
No, she probably asked for it for free, and when she didn't get it for free, she stormed out of there.
And then I have to say, I loved Carol's acting job, and she was like, you're surprised by? She's like, no, what? It was like she pulled it together, I thought, pretty quick.
Yeah, no, I'm back on side Carol.
Me too.
Yeah. Like, as soon as the election was over, I was like, okay, I like you again.
She was, like, acting a little holier than thou, I think, because we just didn't want to deal with the election.
It was just sad.
Yeah.
It was like, she's on the right side, but it was just like a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want it.
Guys, Tinsley's a bit of a...
Yeah, Tinsley might be an Eden.
Oof.
I know that's the worst insult you can give at this point. That's tough.
That's really bad, Danielle.
I'm not proud of having to call that out, but her
relationship with Sonia is so strange. Sonia tells Rocco at dinner, she's like, I'm pressing her pillowcases. I'm getting her a salad. She doesn't even give me a birthday card.
Those are the two things you do for a guest.
Yes.
Pressing
and I'm like, I doubt any of that's happening.
Salad. Yeah, there's no way that Sonia is running out by like going to like Chopped and getting her like a fucking salad. Like I just don't see it happening. She sent an intern out to do it, if anything.
I think she's like Tinsley's here. I feel she's on the show to meet a guy. Like everything is like, I must meet a new man or whatever. And it's like kind of.
I do feel bad for Tinsley though.
I felt really bad for her when she was in that expensive dress, and she's like, it says black cocktail dress only. And you could she's like, how much did she spend on that? I feel like she maxed out Topper's card.
Topper. Oh, Topper.
I feel like This is so bad to say, but I feel like Tinsley's managed a nice relationship with Topper's family up till now, and then I feel like Topper's mom has finally like signed off.
Wow.
Like when she's doing this reality show, I just feel like lines have gone dead, and that's just a feeling. I know nothing about that situation.
I did a deep dive on Topper, as I've spoken about, and I don't think he's had a great relationship since. I think he's dating about. I don't think he has remarried.
Okay.
So maybe there's a chance for them. Again, my deep dive didn't turn up everything I needed, so if someone has more information, please send my way. Always happy to read.
Guys, before we end, should we touch down on Southern Charm?
Yes. Yeah, always.
I have a weird shipping thing with
Please.
I thought of this week where I feel like Tinsley and T-Rav would be a good match.
Wow, that's so great.
Like,
Yes.
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 Like I feel like they each they need each other.
They would give each other exactly what they want. They've both had arrests.
Yes, I didn't even think of that.
He so wants
She
she could
a fancy lady that like what's her face will like
can host parties and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone that's been there before, knows how to do it.
He wants a young Patricia, and Landon doesn't have it.
No, Landon has nothing.
And you're right. And Tinsley would want to raise his kids. I really think you're
And she'll make
so
a nice
right.
home for him. He needs a woman who's going to make a home so the kids don't have to live in the garage.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what he needs.
Wow.
That's a really good idea.
That's a very nice
that
point.
means so much to me.
I'm gonna honestly think about this as I close my eyes. Like, I know I'm gonna snuggle in and be like, I like that.
That's a nice match.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. I feel better about both of their lives.
I know we kind of talked about it, but I would love if Andy would just put together dates and let us pair everyone. They don't have to live in a house together, but just go on a date and film it, please.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I've written 2 words about Southern Charm. Racist fucks. Wow. I hadn't. I lied a bit last week. I hadn't finished last week's episode. I had 5 more minutes to go, and I saw this disgusting scene between Thomas and Landon at the polo thing, where he's like, "You're OC," he says to Landon, which is, he goes, "Our class." And David, my husband, I'm sorry I keep talking about him, but he was just screaming at the screen, "You all are the children of slave owners, you fucking assholes," at the screen. And it did get in my head.
Yeah.
Like watching them just mince about, playing polo, no jobs. Landon's whole thing this week of like, Vale is like a truck stop. I'm just like, you guys they're disgusting, disgusting people.
They've gotten more disgusting this year, I feel like. Like isn't his polo field like on a plantation or something?
It is. Yes. It's his plantation.
It's
That's
called,
they're
saying
like,
Thomas's plantation.
They're
literally
just
say
all
that.
looking, and I hate to say this, but even Cameron, I'm now seeing them through a very like inbred lens.
I'm done with Cameron.
Ooh.
Guys, I know I've said like she's beautiful, she's amazing, she's reality royalty. I've said lots of good things. But this week to me, she was just trying to be so interesting and strange.
The show is
weird.
done. We only needed 3 seasons with these.
I'm done with all of them. I'm not interested in Landon. I'm not as interested in T-Rav. Catherine's contouring has gone off the rails. Like,
it's so
been,
shocking.
She was crazy.
Like, yeah, like
she was nuts.
She was like, "I don't care about your baby."
that
For the surgery.
That scene
crazy.
with Jen.
Woman's
She's like,
just
"Don't you want to know
sobbing."
about my baby?" You know, like Jen has been
A good Jen.
Really good.
Jen has been through something difficult.
Harrowing.
Yes.
And poor Jen stood by her when nobody would even look at
and
her.
then Catherine's like, "Yeah, how is she? Or how is he?" Like she does.
Catherine's like, "I was waiting for you to tell me about your kid."
So mean and weird.
So
guys,
she's a
Catherine's-
mean.
Catherine
witch.
is those weird dolls that Cameron was looking at with that older gay.
Yeah.
I just think the show has nothing. There's no ties to anyone. Whitney clearly lives in LA and is popping in for a scene here or there. Cameron, we don't get to see her life. I
was really satisfied with Shep's kind of medical crisis or whatever.
Yes.
Like I was like, it made me feel good to see him like look terrible because
The fact that his father had a heart
He looked
attack at
terrible.
like 35, it's like, Shep, get it the fuck together.
I mean, even if you were lying in a doctor's office, the numbers he gave were a shock of how much alcohol he's drinking a night. He's like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 a night. Like it kept going. He was like 13, 14, 15 drinks a night. It's a shock. He's 37, you guys. I put him in my brain the way he acts at 29.
Yeah, he reminds me of a frat boy.
But it's like satisfying to me because I'm like, how many girls have you like treated like garbage and never called and been a jerk, and now you can't play more than 1.5 minutes of basketball? I can't either, but like I don't know, it's just like annoying.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't have a heart condition. You're out of shape. You're an alcoholic fuck.
Yeah. And I know I've had a crush on him for a long time, but I'm turning on all of them.
I really am too. The only person I'm more attracted to as the days go by is Naomi.
Naomi's gorgeous.
She's everything to me.
I don't love Naomi, guys. Sorry.
I just dropped my phone because what?
I think she's a little annoying. Believe me, Craig is the worst. Craig and his sewing and his like law degree and everything about him.
He is comical. It's truly a sketch. He's like, well, I'm thinking of renting out some houses and starting a clothing line, but I'm definitely gonna like get past the bar and become an architect.
It's so strange. She is like a child's view of adulthood. Like, I'm going to be like, my daughter the other day said, like, I'm going to be an architect, I'm going to be a photographer, and I'm going to be a waitress. And I'm like, yes. That is Craig.
Everything's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible to Sydney. Anything. And that's how Craig views the world. But still, like, Naomi just to me is, she's blah. I mean, Craig is not worthy of her, but she's
French. Her parents are French. Thank you. I've been waiting to say, but she's French.
I know, and believe me, I'm a Francophile. But
you didn't find that to be a fun twist?
It should be on anyone else, but I find her boring.
What are they doing settling in Charleston?
Do love an
living
accent.
down the street. It's all so weird.
What do Naomi's parents do though? Do we know? Is there family money there? I'd like to know.
I'm sure. That
Very
house.
interested to know.
Yeah.
Also, when Landon was going into that place and being like, this place isn't Rome worthy. It's like, how dare
I've never wanted to just reach into the screen and rip someone's face off with my bare hands. And she's like, I promise not out your same things. Horses, real estate, and architecture. Like, oh, she's so gross. And T-Rav, this is why they do belong together unless he goes out with Tinsley, is T-Rav goes, I used to wear a pair of pants that would situate my ass in a certain way so I could have any woman. I was like,
Oh, that would, and he was like, was it, I think he was like, it was a pair of khakis.
a pair of khakis. Even Whitney was like, don't say that.
Yeah, Whitney, who will say anything and is a monster person, was like, oh, Thomas, too far. Yeah, they really are just a bunch of alcoholics.
Landon's boyfriend, this did make me really laugh when she was like, yeah, he's not really like a guy, he doesn't seem to know much of the world. And they cut to Landon's young boyfriend going, she's like, he's never even been to New York City. And then he goes, they got a big park there. And she goes, even Landon goes, Central Park?
God, she's the worst. Oh, and then, what was I going to say? Oh, when Thomas was calling himself Mr. Mom, he's like, I'm a regular Mr. Mom. It's like, your kids live in the garage. You're not Mr. Mom.
No.
There's someone waiting in the car to take your kid to that ballet class. Just because you're getting your kid out the door does not mean you are involved in their lives.
Yeah, I feel like after the camera went away, he was like, someone strapped this kid in this seat. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, 100%. It's actually quite dark, though. It's like Catherine, trying to get herself clean so she can see her friends, but really tracking down people. She's like, I'm going to get to the bottom of what happened with Thomas at the reunion with Andy and Jennifer. It's like, sweetie, get your kids back.
Yeah, just get your kids back. Don't focus on anything.
Don't worry about what Jen said to Thomas. Why do you still care about that?
She's also really leaning into this choker thing that she's doing. I'm not loving it.
Well, that testimonial... The bronzer and the contour is
the contour was
she's
shocking.
A young, cute girl.
I know, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
She could look so good. Who's doing her makeup?
Who's doing that to her?
Is it the woman that like Thomas tried to chase out the window that one time? Or
possibly.
Guys, wow.
My God, when Landon called and was like, well, I'm going to a Fish concert. It's a band. And he was like, I know who Fish is. Like, he was like...
He like choked on his Johnny Walker. And then the two of them were just such dum-dums. They're out in the middle of the field. He's like, this is nice. And she's like, this is nice.
Were they having lunch in a swamp?
And then ordering like the most specific margaritas ever.
Because they're professional alcoholics.
Yes, all of them.
That's their job.
Thomas is an older man. He's 60?
I would say at least late 50s.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean...
Yeah, he should be ashamed of himself.
I could not believe when Thomas said, gesturing above the neck, he's like, I'm just ready to look for a woman from here up. from his neck up. Like, that's so offensive. And Landon was like, yeah, you know, the same veil. You don't get the gal, you just have your churn with her. I was like, this is so sickening, this culture. I used to celebrate it. Now I'm like, get out of here, you racist pigs.
Yeah, wow, you've turned.
I've turned, guys.
No, it's bad. That's the one when I'm watching with my husband, he has to leave the room. He's like, I'm not on board for Southern Charm.
Really? That's where he steps off? I know your husband, and
I do too, and he's off.
He's not into Southern Charm. It like upsets him deeply.
Matt's upset by all of them. He just can't get on board.
But yet, he's drawing the line there. I get it. I'm seeing it with fresh eyes, and I'm like, whoa. Much like Porsha said she saw Candy with that one night beer goggles.
Short and stout. Little teapot.
She's not into teapots, short and stout.
So good.
Again, the lines that these women
They
come
keep
up with
flashing back to it because you know what? They know we need it again.
Oh, yeah. When she's like, you said you were going to lick my pussy.
And she's like, I'm not into teapots, short and stout. It's so good. Guys, what a night.
Tricia, thank you so much for being here.
I love this podcast. I listen to it all the time in the car. I love it so much.
Well, we love you. And
Tricia, you're wonderful, and congrats on your baby.
Oh, thank you.
And congrats on your new podcast. Everyone, can you tell everyone the name of it again so they tune in?
It is called Kardashian It.
Kardashian It. And they can find it on iTunes?
Yes.
Great. Everyone tune in.
It comes out on Wednesdays.
Oh, yeah, it comes out Wednesdays. Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, April and Luce and July and everyone at Earwolf.
And thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Danielle. Take a weed whacker to those pubes.
Hi, I'm best-selling author and unaccredited love and marriage expert, Maribel May. It's 1963. Do you know where your husband is? Let me put the spark back in your marriage with my audio lecture series, The Complete Woman. Take your marriage from boring to soaring in a few stupid steps, guaranteed to work, or your husband's money back. The Complete Woman is available now on Earwolf. Find it on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to your shows. And if you just can't get enough, you can find the Complete Woman series, including Complete Joy and The Complete Man, at StitcherPremium.com/complete. Oh, my veal balls are ready. Toodaloo!
This has been an Earwolf production, executive produced by Scott Aukerman, Chris Bannon, and Colin Anderson. For more information and content, visit earwolf.com.